Tube station became a reality really because we noticed that whatever time of the year we were here, there were always people surfing. What we're looking to do is convert this area, make it something that we can really experiment with, possibly a cafe, possibly a cyber cafe, so folk can come off the beach, they can wash themselves down, get out of their wetsuits and check out the coffee. So we've got a big space. We've got a lot of chairs and we've got a lot of hopes for this building really. It's going to be the centre of what we do with Tube Station.
The services at the Tube Station are really good fun to go to, which is not what most people say about going to church.
It created an environment where religion was just part of the environment, which is obviously really different to a lot of traditional churches where it's very staid, especially in this area of the country, and it's quite formal.
A lot of people come to Tube Station expecting something really whiz-bang and amazing, with high expectations, and what they find is it's actually a lot more simple than that. It all hinges on this concept of love your neighbour. We love the thought that 100 plus years ago there were about 600 or so of these little buildings built by the Methodist Church that sprung up all around the county. There is somewhere in this day and age, inherent in people, this need for community and this potentially this inspiration to come together once again and do something using these little chapels which have this old heritage of God-inspired community building, and come together and do something for the greater good for our generation.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
The congregation based here were, when I started the work, 70 and 80 years old. There's 7 of them. They've always had a heart for the people of this community. Each member comes to the playhouse different days of the week. They blow balloons up, they make party bags, they make the sandwiches on Saturdays for the parties, and they have a real involvement here. And in fact, near enough every member would say to you now, if only you'd done this 10 years ago when we were younger, we'd like to spend more and more time here, because we can see how our building has come to life, how the faith here has grown.
I've been praying for the guidance for this church for years now. I have felt from the word go that God's been with us all the way. We've had a lot of obstacles to overcome. Most of us couldn't see what Caroline could see. We were daunted, I think, all the way until the day of the very opening. And we haven't been daunted since.
We didn't initially intend to build something quite this big, so the project kind of grew in sort of matched our faith, if you like. And I guess if you'd said to us when we first started, oh, you're going to need £500,000 to do it, we might have thought, we won't ever be able to raise that. But when the first numbers were bandied around, we thought, yeah, that's doable. We'll write to charities, we'll approach members of the congregation, etc., etc. So gradually, sort of as the numbers increased, so the amount of funding that we needed increased. But God honoured that and matched what we needed. The way in which people tend to get involved in the youth congregation these days is mainly by friendship evangelism. They will come along, they'll be skating together or riding together with their Christian friends, and then one evening they'll suddenly decide to stick around and come along to something that's a little bit, more involved in the spiritual side of things.
Taste and See really began about 18 months ago with 4 of us sat around a table in a back garden, looking at the churches of our town and asking the questions, why aren't there any 20s, 30s, 40s, people of our own age group in the churches, and any of the churches in the town really? And we started to ask the question, how do we encourage those folk to come into our church? And we fairly quickly realised it was the wrong question.
As soon as we opened, we had varied clientele, from parents with small children, young men on their own, a real cross-section of people. And just to be able to mention that it's a church, to see the look on the face is amazing, because they can't believe that something like this belongs to a church.
There were some people in the traditional church who will never catch the vision, who don't understand why we need things to change and move on. We're going to begin as we watch a video. The video is entitled Offering. God is calling us on a journey. We don't know where we're heading, but we know we're heading with Him, and we're trying to take with us as many as possible. But painfully, we have to leave some people in a different place. If you ask me where we will be in 12 months' time, the honest answer is I don't know. We're on a sharp learning curve. We feel like we're on a roller coaster ride, and God is just taking us. All we are trying to be is obedient to what God is calling us to do. And that's a very exciting but a scary place to be.